What is up, Brown Girl Tribe? It's your girl Drea coming to you live and direct from the deck. You know, we gotta do an episode on the deck. So today's video is on creating and reinforcing boundaries with a consequence. So many times we constantly allow the disrespect, the dishonoring, anything that's just disrespectful in our lives because either A, it was exhibit to us, we was programmed to be a people pleaser, especially for my women, you know, also too, you know, we have been enabling bad behavior. So today is the day in which we're going to break up with all that and we're going to change the narrative and start creating boundaries. I know people always be typing like, oh, our audacity is at an all-time high. It won't be at an all-time high when we start creating healthy boundaries, be in self-preservation mode, and also to hand out consequence that the gift of consequences to folks who are habitual boundary violators, right? Because I guarantee you, if they was in your shoes and if you was to disrespect them, they wouldn't tolerate it. So now it's time for my people pleasers, my folks who are don't like conflict. It's time to rise. It's time to really start creating those boundaries. And the reason why I did this video, because once upon a time in my life, because I'm very cool, calm, collective, that I had to really take a step back, you know, and get a lot of assistance with my therapist to create and set boundaries and reinforce them. And when I started getting into a habit of doing that, let me tell you something. I have been a force, a fly girl to be reckoned with, and I can still be kind and set boundaries, right? I can set boundaries with a smile and be assertive and really, you know, have that consequence. I had a situation recently in which, you know, someone violated my boundaries despite me, you know, take accountability and responsibility for my part. That person constantly wanted to harp on it. So what I politely did was I said, as a conversation over and done with, because once you start getting into that disrespect and that dishonoring me as a person and I didn't serve that to you, that's when I have to end the conversation. So that's when I have to give my gift of goodbye to people. And that's a consequence, right? Because I'm ending the conversation. It's not being disrespectful when you to end the conversation. You just have to give that person that gift of goodbye, because you're not going to sit there and constantly be disrespected. And I know that person, they would not have sat there and, you know, allow me to disrespect them, right? So once again, you have to think of yourself very highly. You have to think of yourself as, you know, what's that old saying, like, what would Jesus do? What would God do? God did not place you on this earth to be a doormat. Yes, you know, we're supposed to practice being kind, being patient, long suffering, as it talks about, you know, the fruitage of the spirit, right? And also to turn the other cheek. But, you know, turn the other cheek, that also has a consequence to that as well. It's like, yes, I'm going to turn my other cheek, but also, too, I'm not going to constantly let you slap me in my face or disrespect me, dishonor me, devalue me, and then also to eventually discard you, right? So I think that's why, you know, we have audacity at an all-time high, because we have let people slide. Yes, you got to pick and choose your battles, but when is enough, and you're constantly in the space of being disrespected, it's like this cycle. You're being disrespected, devalued, discarded, you know, when you're dealing with people who just have no type of remorse and no type of, you know, positive energy to present to that conversation, or no type of conflict resolution or emotional intelligence. That's when you got to give people that gift of consequences. And also too, that gift of consequence is also too could be the gift of goodbye for that day or for the remaining of their time on the face of this earth, right? To protect you. Because remember, and I have posted this on social media, having access to you is a privilege, and that's not being conceited, that's not being self-righteous. Having access to your energy, to the person that you have been created to be this dope being, to be this dope divine person, that is a privilege. Everybody should not have accessibility to you. You have so many energy drainers, you have vampires out here that would drain the living life out of you, and there's no reciprocity to it. There's like, well, I can get this, take this shine from this person if you give up that shine. I can take their power away if you give that power away, right? So today, I want you all to start setting boundaries, know what your non-negotiables are when it comes to relationships, that's friendships, that's hopefully y'all not in a situationship, relationships, that's even on your job, right? Because even with your job, you're there to provide a service, but you also too want to provide a service at peace. Yes, you're gonna make mistakes, but at the same time too, you're imperfect. But if that person who, let's say, is your superior, your higher up, have a problem with you being imperfect, that's when you probably have to give the gift of goodbye and start job searching, or once again start finding that conflict resolution. So that is the spill for today. I hope you all have an amazing day. Make sure that you're being gentle with yourself. Make sure you're being kind. Make sure that you're forgiving yourself, that you're being passionate with yourself, and make sure that you're loving yourself, because you can't go out here and say, hey, I love myself, and continuously allowing the disrespect and the dishonoring. So much love and light to you guys. Peace.